और जिंदगी में और कुछ काम करो या ना करो, ये पार्ट नहीं रुकना चाहिए।
What does heritage restoration mean to you in one word?
My language, it's my language to communicate with the world.
This is about my son when he was small, and because this is high roofs and things. हमारा किला है।
अच्छा। Namaste, Adab, Sat Shri Akal. Welcome to a beautiful chapter of Guftagoo with Nav. आज हम आए हैं in the holy city of Amritsar. Amritsar, as you know, is known for its rich culture and heritage architecture. तो आज मैं आपको लेके जाने वाली हूँ एक खूबसूरत और टाइमलेस हवेली के अंदर. This Haveli was built by Rai Basant Singh Kala in the year 1889. In today's episode, we are not just going to walk into this Haveli, but also going to have a heartfelt conversation with the current custodian, Mrs. Geetika Kala, and the conservation architect, Mrs. Gurmeet Rai, who led the conservation of this space meticulously and architecturally. So without wasting any time, chalo, aajo mere naal.
Hello, Jian.
Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
so much for welcoming us
Not
into
at
this
all, not
beautiful
at all.
space.
Come.
Stepping into this courtyard seems like going back in time. और हमने सुना है that this Haveli has seen 5 generations pass through.
Yeah.
तो आप हमें इसकी हिस्ट्री के बारे में, राय बसंत सिंह काला के बारे में कुछ बताओ.
It was made by Rai Bahadur Basant Singh, and since then the whole family has added a little bit here and there, but largely it is the same structure of जैसे पुराने हवेलियाँ होती थी ना, बड़ी बड़ी.
हाँ जी.
अभी ये इसका चौथा हिस्सा है.
Okay.
तो अभी तो काफी मतलब उस तरफ भी है, इस तरफ भी था.
Big family Haveli, and then it got
joint families used to live here.
Okay.
So this is the Mardana side,
Okay.
and this is the Zanana side.
Okay. So we have the Mardana and the Zanana side.
Yeah, we will show you when we go in.
Nice, interesting.
And there's the eagle, which is the family guardian kind of a thing. So this eagle, of course, now it's in a very bad shape. It was originally better, and then even when it was conservation, maybe इन्होंने थोड़ा repair करा and all that. Why it is here is because this family believes in the protection of the eagle. I don't know exactly what word to use, but I'm going to use protection.
The protector, like
Protector,
eagle
like
was the
guardian,
protector,
kind
guardian.
of a thing.
Okay.
So इनका tradition होता था कि जब कोई function होता था घर पे, कोई शादी or something important, the men would take meat and go to the fields, to the villages, and feed the eagle. जब वो eagle खा लेगी, then they come back home. So it was like a, what is the connection? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it
it's
probably has something to do with
Yeah.
success and everything, because in our school also they used to call us that fly like eaglets.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
soaring high.
Eagle is always
yes,
soaring.
high.
Even in the Lahore house, I believe, all the windows had eagles on them.
So is there any family tradition which is still being followed and you people do it in this house? ऐसा कुछ है?
Yeah. Actually, that is the reason why this house is still standing.
Okay.
Every year there is a part here. Part, you understand? Like a prayer meet.
Yes.
On the anniversary of Rai Bahadur Basant Singh's death anniversary,
Okay.
every year there is a part, and so we come here. It takes about a week. Starts on the 3rd of March and ends on 9th of March.
Okay.
So the family tries to come here. Otherwise, local people, मतलब जो आ सके आ जाता है. But it is always
Maximum members come and you people do that ritual every year.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
is
so nice.
the one thing my father-in-law told my husband.
Okay.
और जिंदगी में और कुछ काम करो या ना करो, ये पार्ट नहीं रुकना
Follow
चाहिए.
through करना this.
हाँ, तो
So
वो
you're
चलता है.
passing it on to your children also.
Yeah,
then?
I hope so. I hope so.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
That is like
but-
continuing the
Yeah,
lineage.
yeah. And it also, that is the reason why this house is still there. अभी तो most people have sold their properties around, you know. But because ये part यहीं होना है, तो फिर ये यहीं अभी है. Yeah.
So the tradition is keeping the heritage alive.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
It's a blessing also.
That's a beautiful piece, all hand carved again. I feel.
This is another. This is called Pinjara work.
Oh, okay.
Can I tell you what it is? This work was famous in Kashmir
अच्छा.
and in Amritsar. 2 places in the world where this is done. Each piece is separately cut
Yeah, I
and
see.
separately joined. It is not like carved out. ये छोटे छोटे
Pieces को
काट के
जोड़ के
फिर
बनाया हुआ है।
इसको पिंजरा बोलते हैं.
Very nice.
This is पिंजरा work.
While this Haveli has preserved much of its original soul, restoration has played an essential part in keeping it alive for future generations. That brings me to someone who has played a pivotal role in restoring and breathing life into this space. So now, come with me. Joining us now is the conservation architect Gurmeet Rai, whose vision has helped breathe life into this beautiful space. So, Mrs. Gurmeet Rai, I'm so glad you agreed to come up and talk about this beautiful space. So, my first question to you is, what was your first impression or the feelings which you got when you first saw this Haveli?
So this house came as a surprise. I mean, it wasn't something that I had come here to do. So when I engaged with this house, I was actually preparing a tourism strategy for Amritsar as a city, for Punjab government to send it to Government of India for this. So Mrs. Kala then asked me, she said, I have a house and would you like to look at it and help us put it back together. Her husband was emotionally tied to it very, very closely because this is actually his parental home. And his family has a long legacy with association with Darbar Sahib and so on. So both have. So that was, so for me the first thing what I saw was that this place meant so much for him. Now that is fundamentally something which informs my conservation plan, because the moment you know that the person, what a place means to a person, then that building starts meaning something to you, even as an architect. She has beautiful sense of aesthetics. So I knew that there'll be a great partnership here. And home is something that, architect is somebody who is then enabling in a technical way, supporting the idea of the people who inhabit that space. So between Mr. Kala feeling so strongly about his home, Mrs. Kala with this very, very amazing aesthetics, and here I was as a conservation architect, so it was
Great
pretty
combination, did a great job.
so it was very, very simple and straightforward. So when I saw this, I saw this as a very simple late 19th, early 20th century building, built of modular bricks, courtyard plan. I mean, I was anticipating these features. And what was something which was very, very, something which I had to respond to very carefully was that this is a very important, it was a wholesale timber market in front. So access was a bit of a problem. In a sense, not a problem, but it is a constraint. So then the road levels have gone up, and we had to deal with sewerage and rising damp issues. So those were the technical challenges to deal with. Yeah.
So that is what I was about to ask you. What are the challenges you felt through while restoring this place? So were there really any internal challenges also apart from the street?
Yeah, so the thing is, this is a brick and lime mortar building. It had in places some cement plaster which had been applied over time, which is a very typical way of working. And now that it's a 20-year-old, I mean, this project got done in about 2005, 2006. So then, and the floor had cement concrete, and the level of the road had gone up. So what I could see was there was seepage from the top because the roof was in a poor condition, and there was rising damp because of the drainage issues in the neighborhood. So the most important thing that we had to, or the first thing we had to deal with is that, or the fundamental things that we had to deal with was that we have to prevent water from coming into the house from the top. And how do we allow the ground to breathe, to be able for the moisture to dry out? And also Mr. Kala said very clearly that let's do this with very little money, let's not go over intervene, which is also a very good thing, because why would you, there has to be a relationship between, money means resources, means energy, embodied energy of material. If you over intervene, you're making these things unsustainable. So you've got to work with whatever the materials are and extend the life of the building and make it feasible for, it's a second home, it's not the first house also. So what we did was, we arrived at the technical answers to support these particular forces of nature.
So how do you decide what to restore and what to change?
So we have to, the first thing you're fundamentally trying to do is that what are the physical features of the home. So spatially, this courtyard, courtyards in our traditional homes is something which is central, because all, life forces, everybody is kind of working around a courtyard. So to retain the spatial or spatial attributes of the house, so which is the courtyard, then you have all these buildings. So then ventilation, to make the place breathable, because you're in the walled city, you're inside with a very commercial street in front. So you're going to achieve cross ventilation is fundamental. So they've got these ventilators, the streets outside. So the courtyard is very, very important for that cross ventilation. Some places, because the house has been divided over and over again between multiple generations and stuff, so we had to introduce some elements to enable this cross ventilation. So then we introduced the skylights. And even the skylights, you bring in the light, but then you raise the skylight a little bit, that you get these little ventilating spaces so that the hot air can go out. So while you're retaining the architectural features like the windows, doors, ventilators, which are character defining, but you're also enabling through new interventions, the functionality, the workability of all these features. So that's what. The other is the use of material. Now, fundamentally, these old buildings are built with either mud mortar inside and lime outside, or lime mortar inside and lime outside, because cement stops that permeability. But then, because with this wetness in the periphery and because there was cement concrete everywhere, the building was not breathing. So there was water coming out of the walls, so there was this cement plaster. So what we did was, we removed till about a meter. We removed the cement plaster and we replaced it with lime plaster to allow that breathability. All the flooring that we've done, you see in the courtyard, you'll see brick with lime mortar. Again, for that to breathe out. So even if there's any moisture moving in the floors, see, they were very keen to put these, Mrs. Kala was very keen to put these cement tiles, these polychrome cement tiles, the terrazzo tiles. Now they are contemporary with that period. Early 20th century had terrazzo, but that stops the breathing. So what we did was, we created this little, you'll see along the base of the building, the plaster, you see these grooves, and you see the skirting is the brick itself. The skirting itself is brick, so that if there's any rising damp, there is breathing and drying action that happens along the base of the building. So you'll find this in all the rooms. Then whatever moisture travels up, there's another groove on top. So all the breathing, because when this breathing, wet and dry cycles happen, the plasters decay. First, if the building decays, begins with, the surface first decays, the paint decays, then the plaster decays, then it goes to the brick. If the breathability is working, you will see decay will happen from outside to inside, which is the cycle. So every few years you can remove it and replaster and repaint. You repaint every third year. You replaster maybe of that much area every 5 to 10 years. But if you try to stop it with tiles, this moisture is going to rise up. And it's like your decay will start in the bones, not on your skin. So it's better that your skin decays first and you protect your skin, and it's not cancerous that you have your bones decaying. So the idea is to ensure the stability of the building, that the bricks are okay, the masonry is okay, and the paint and the plaster are the sacrificial layers. So the whole house is about breathability about light, air, responding to the changing conditions of, you know, the road levels and all of that, and making it into an inhabitable, lovely space, you know, for the family.
That's what I'm sure this is for the audience. This is such a big learning, and I'm sure the students and the young architects who are watching this would love to hear it from you. Love this. So one last question I have for you. Is there any part or any restoration part here which you are really proud of, or any feature which you feel that, oh, we achieved this?
You know, frankly speaking, what I said to you right from the beginning, that if the home is, that when you have intervened in a building like this, a home, and when you slip out, the people who are the inhabitants, for whom this home is so important, if your imprint is not there and it's just the imprint of the owners or the residents, that's the success of the project. So, you know, when I came this morning, and I've come after, you know, Mrs. Kala was kind enough for my entire team to stay here in 2009, 2010, when we were preparing the management plan for the Gobindgarh Fort. So we were 7-8 of us who lived here. And, you know, so after that I've come now after 15 years. The first thing I did when I crossed you, I just went into all the rooms to see how is she using it. And I was so happy to see that every space has her imprint. And every corner of the building, she's using it. And I went upstairs to see, because she wanted to use it as a bedroom and a bathroom with it. And for the life in me, I couldn't figure out. I said, "Ab ye bathroom kaise upar lagayenge?" But she managed it, you know. And I was looking for any leakages in the roof and all of that. So between the technical workability, my one part of me was looking at the workability of all the interventions, and one part of me was looking, okay, how has she embraced the whole plan? And I was so happy to see that it's working, and she's a proud owner of this house, you know. So I think that's what I'm proud of, you know.
So we've been serious heritage lovers till now, लेकिन गुफ्तगू में थोड़ी मस्ती भी होनी चाहिए. So now it's time for the rapid fire round. I'm going to ask one question each to both of you, and I expect you to answer it as quickly as you can without overthinking. So are you ready?
Yes.
So ठीक है. Here comes my first question for Gitika ji. The question is, what does Amritsar House mean to you in one sentence or one word?
It's now become a family home, which is like the traditional family home. It has given us more roots in this town. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So it is your family home. So this means family to you. Great. Gurmeet ji, the next one is for you. What does heritage restoration mean to you in one word?
It's my language. It's my language to communicate with the world.
How nice. Beautifully answered. All right. Gitika ji, your chance next. Your earliest memory in this Haveli, or your first day in this Haveli?
The first day I came here was the day when there was a part in the house.
Okay.
And people I had never seen before were just streaming in, and my husband was too busy to introduce me. So I had this whole lot of people, strangers walking around, and I was supposed to this thing. Because the tradition here was that on that day, 9th of March, anybody associated with this house would walk in.
It's a walk-in. Oh.
So it was quite like daunting for me.
Okay.
I didn't know what to say to them. They, you know, and the women would come and sit next to me and talk to each other, and I was ignored. So it was quite but I then got to know them all, and they all became part of the family.
Okay. All right, Gurmeet ji. A material or a detail here that makes you proud?
Yeah, this is the detail of the skirting
Okay.
and the brick lining along the edge to make the building breathe.
Okay. Yes.
There's a lot of rising dancing.
Yes, like you told us. Okay. Wonderful. Gitika ji, one piece of furniture here that you would never want to part with?
That mirror thingy in
That small one?
The
Yeah.
fireplace?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful and intricately carved too. I don't think such kind of things are made today.
That is really gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think you should show that with the.
All right. The next one is for you. If you could bring back one architectural feature from these old Havelis into our modern architecture, what would that be?
The courtyard.
The courtyard. So the next question is some memory associated with this house which makes you smile.
Okay, one is about my son when he was small, and because this was high roofs and things, and he thought this was huge, you know, when he was that high. So he used to say, call it the killa.
Oh.
Okay, हमारा किला है. You know, it was very cute at that time. My mother-in-law's sister was here, my husband's Masi, and she said chai and water. And the guy who used to be here went to the bazaar and brought those little cups, you know, the little glasses. उसमें चाय ले आया. I was horrified that in my own home somebody is bringing tea from outside. I had never seen this kind of thing in my life. And then I realized that because they've always lived here, right on this thing, they always used to have chai from outside.
Cutting chai.
घर में बनती नहीं थी चाय. It was normal. I mean, I had trouble adjusting to this living on the roads thing because I was used to living in gardens and surroundings like that. You know, this living on the road was a totally new experience.
Yeah, so that's quite the walled city
Yeah.
thing, you know.
And then being able to, अच्छा अब क्या खाना है? चलो कुल्फी खाने चले. चलो ये खाना चले. And then चलो दरबार साहब चले. You know, I mean, it was so common for this family. It was totally new.
How nice. अगर आज की डेट में भी हमारी ऐसी communities होती. That was a lovely wrap up to the episode. Thank you Gitika ji for opening your house to us. Thank you Gurmeet ji for sharing your vision with us. We are really thankful to both of you ladies, so remarkable ladies, to make this episode so charming with your presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
तो हमने देखा that heritage is not just about preserving bricks and beams but about memories and traditions. We also uncovered the history of this place and also the architectural challenges that came along while restoring this beautiful space. किवें लग गया ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ episode? Do let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do now, क्योंकि हम लेके आने वाले हैं बहुत सारी more stories and many more history to uncover.